Tell me about the strategy behind this reverse gentrification.
Okay, I think the goal for me is to show that, the ordinary black man can do extraordinary things. I think we live in a time where black success is only viewed through entertainment or sports, and we have a lot of everyday entrepreneurs who are doing some really great things and kind of breaking barriers. In terms of myself, my goal was reverse gentrification. So my partner and I, Zoditu Ruffin, we decided that we would further the narrative by putting our businesses in affluent neighborhoods and kind of bridging the gap of both of those different cultures, specifically when it comes to, people who come from where we come from, and when it comes to the affluent or like the educated people, how do we bring these two parties together? How do we bring black and white people together? And a healthy medium is always either food or music, right, or some sort of entertainment.
That's right.
So me being in a restaurant space, I was surprised to find out how many black people weren't really involved in the luxury restaurant space. So that was something I was really curious about. And when I looked further into it, a lot of it was based off of fear and trauma, where we came from. Sometimes when you come from certain circumstances, you're afraid to even explore something outside of that. So like me, I always say that, the number one rule to success, specifically for the black man in America, is to develop from a place of fearlessness. Not what people think, but, what you're fully capable of. So my goal is to maximize the potential of myself as well as my people through the medium of food and beverage.
And how are you measuring the impact? What type of impact and conversations, is this having in their neighborhood, and particularly with other black people?
It's crazy, because being in Brooklyn Heights, when a lot of our customers come, they from Brooklyn, but they've never been there. So it creates exposure to the neighborhood. And then a lot of our customers, they work with black people, or they've interacted with them or went to school with them, but they've never been a neighbor to them. So that's a totally different thing, because when you're a neighbor, you kind of disarm yourself, and then you become colleagues or you become friends, and then that ignites a conversation. And I think the conversation for me is, how can we propel more of this forward? How can the narrative extend beyond just myself and my shop? So like Zoditu says, we're the first, we're the only, but we don't want to be the last. And I think that can only come through visibility, right? So for example, like when there's a young black kid that's say from Harlem or might be from Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn, right? And they come into the shop, for one, they get exposure to a new neighborhood that they didn't know existed, but more specifically, they see someone who looks like themselves, who's successful and who didn't do it through sports and entertainment. So like that's the most important thing for me. Also, when it comes to entrepreneurship in general within our culture, we tend to get a bad rap of only wanting to be small or be a mom and pop. And I think that's due to a lack of access to capital and resources. So I always try to tell, my white counterparts and my friends, my contemporaries, that black people don't need a handout. We need a hand up. So specifically like this type of platform, being able to come on and talk about what it is that I do, not asking for anything, but just requesting that people give us some visibility, create some exposure, and bring some traffic to the shops.